There was once a man, a tiller of the soil, named Campriano. He had a wife and a mule. Yokels from backward Ciciorana sometimes passed through the field he was working and called to him, "Hey, Campriano, what are you doing?" They would ask him if he was ready to go home, and frequently he and his mule would walk a little way with them. One morning, Campriano slipped a few gold pieces he had saved into his mule's rear end. When the yokels from Ciciorana came by, Campriano said, "Wait for me, I'm going home too." He loaded his things onto the mule and joined the group in conversation. It was springtime and the fresh grass relished by animals abounded. So the mule, which had eaten his fill, soon cut loose and dropped the money his owner had hidden in him. The yokels from Ciciorana exclaimed, "Why, Campriano, your mule makes droppings of money." "That's right," replied Campriano. "Without him, I'd never manage. He's my fortune." Right off the bat, they said, "Campriano, you must sell him to us. You must." "I'm not selling him." "But if you did, what would you ask for him? A whole lot?" "I wouldn't sell him for all the money in the world. You'd have to offer me no less than 300 crowns. The yokels of Ciciorana dug into their pockets and altogether came up with 300 crowns. They led the mule away, and the minute they got home, they told their wives to spread sheets in the stable to catch all the gold that would be dropped during the night. In the morning, they ran to the stable and found the sheets loaded with manure. "Campriano has cheated us. We'll kill him." With that, they grabbed up pitchforks and shovels and marched off to Campriano's house. His wife answered the door. "Campriano isn't here. He's out in the vineyard." "We'll get him out of the vineyard," they shouted and marched on. At the vineyard, they called to him, "Come out, Campriano. We are going to kill you." Campriano emerged from the rows of vines. "Why?" "You sold us the mule and he doesn't turn out any money." "Let me ask how you treated him," said Campriano. "We treated him fine. He had sweet broth to drink and fresh grass to eat." "Poor animal. If he's not dead by now, he will be shortly. He's accustomed to eating roughage that shapes into durable coins, don't you see? Wait a minute, and I'll come and look at him. If he's still all right, I'll take him back. If not, you'll keep him and hold your peace. But first, I have to stop by my house a minute." "All right, go ahead, but come straight back. We'll wait here." Campriano ran to his wife and said, "Put on a pot of beans to boil, but when we return, pretend to pull it out of the cupboard while they boil. Is that clear?" Campriano accompanied the Ciciorana yokels to the stable and found the mule standing in the middle of the dung-laden sheets. "It's a wonder he's still alive," and he said, "This animal is no good for work anymore. But how could you? If I'd only known you'd break him down that way. Poor thing." The yokels were puzzled. "What do we do now?" "What do you do now? I have nothing more to say, and you shouldn't either." "You have a point. It was just one of those things. Come to my house to dinner, and let's forget the whole business once and for all." They got to Campriano's and found the door closed. Campriano knocked, and his wife emerged from the barn, pretending to finish her chores and enter the house only at that moment. The fire was out in the kitchen. Campriano said, "What, you've not cooked my dinner yet?" "I just got back from the field," she replied, "but I'll scrape up something right away." She set the table for everybody, then opened the cupboard where the pot of beans boiled. "What?" exclaimed the yokels of Ciciorana. "That boils all by itself in the cupboard? How does it do that without any fire underneath it?" "Goodness knows what we'd do without that pot," replied Campriano. "How could my wife and I go out together to work if we weren't sure of finding the soup ready and waiting when we got back?" "Campriano," said the yokels, "you must sell it to us. Not for all the money in the world." "Campriano, things didn't work out with the mule. To make up for it, you have to sell us the pot. We'll give you 300 crowns. Campriano sold the pot for 300 crowns, and they left. His wife said to him, "They were ready to kill you over the mule. How will you get out of this one?" "Leave everything to me," said Campriano. He went to a butcher, bought an ox bladder, and filled it with raw blood. He said to his wife, "Here, put this bladder in your bosom, and don't be afraid when I throw a knife at you." The yokels of Ciciorana arrived carrying clubs and stakes. "We want your head. Give us back our money or we'll kill you." Now, calm down. Let's hear what it is this time. You told us that pot boiled without fire. We went out to work with our wives, and when we came back, the beans were as raw as ever. Easy now, easy. It must be the fault of that confounded wife of mine. I'm going to ask her if she didn't switch pots on me." He called his wife and asked, "Honestly, did you switch pots on these men?" "Of course I did. You go and give things away without asking me anything. Then I have to do the work. I don't want to part with that pot." Campriano let out a yell. "You wretch!" He grabbed a knife, flung it at her, striking the bladder hidden in her bosom, and blood squirted all over the place. Down fell the woman in a whole pool of it. The two yokels of Ciciorana turned as pale as ghosts. "You mean you'd kill a woman, Campriano, over a pot?" Glancing at his wife, all covered with blood, Campriano pretended to be sorry. "Poor thing, we'll just have to revive her." He pulled a straw from his pocket, placed it in the woman's mouth, blew 3 times into it, and the woman rose as sound and fresh as ever. The two yokels were wide-eyed. "Campriano," they said, "you must give us that straw." "No, indeed," replied Campriano. "I'm often overcome with the urge to kill my wife. If I didn't have that straw, I couldn't revive her afterward." They begged and pleaded with him, and ended up giving him another 300 crowns. So Campriano let them have the straw. They went home, picked a fight with their wives, and knifed them. They were apprehended while still blowing into the straw and imprisoned for life.